Bad memory, simple twist fate. You don't realize till it's too late. Start too early to finish too late. Is what is and not what it takes. Party's over and turn out the light. I don't wanna call it a night. Or borrowing time to live in pain. Think you made it and your life goes down drain. And all I was and not who I am. Waited patiently, I didn't understand. And all this pain and misery, and all this bondage you set free. Time will come, time will go. One thing for sure, you reap what you sow. Live a new way, forget the past. Don't forget not to look back. And all I was and not who I am. Waited patiently, I didn't understand. And all these plans you have for me, and all this bondage you set free. Memory, simple twist fate. You don't realize till it's too late. Start too early to finish too late. Is what is and not what it takes.
All right. Sounding good, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's Dave's saying something right off the bat. Political town hall or spent... Oh, yeah, that's tonight. Yeah, Dave, you made the right choice.
Thank you, Dave.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, I hope everyone's doing fine out there in the internet lands. So my name is Ben Gage, and our guest tonight is Mr. Clyde Hensley. Now, do you prefer it to be Clyde Alan Hensley? Do you like saying it as a whole?
Honestly, at this point in the ball game, it's all good either way. As long as it's not Mr. Hensley, please step back to the police car. I'm cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
Those are our guidelines, folks.
Yes.
Well, we have Clyde in the house tonight. I'm so happy to be able to bring you music every Thursday with the occasional outlying stream here and there. So thank you for supporting what we're doing and supporting our local musicians and our storytellers. And we have a mix of both in the house tonight. So I'm going to kind of give it back over to Clyde, but I'll pop back in every once in a while. And Eileen, it's so nice to see you.
I am going to do a song here. I had one of those long-term relationships. I'm sure we all have. And it just didn't work out real well. One night I came riding home, and I came home kind of early that night. Well, it was early in the morning, actually. All my stuff was on the front lawn, and well, at least the young lady did not throw my guitar out, so I was pretty cool with all that. And we split up, and I kind of like ended up over at a buddy's house doing the couch surfing thing, and we all went out one night for a ride. We all rode motorcycles at the time, and we went to those fine establishments with a pole in the middle of the room, and I decided to call in night real early, and it was going on maybe 11:30, and stopped at the Circle K over on Sackett in the Falls, getting a pack of cigarettes on my bike. All of a sudden, you hear the door open up, and it was like, I heard these shoes, and those shoes, they sounded like shoes that I had bought for her on like our 3rd anniversary. And then as I heard the shoes coming towards me, I smelled fancy perfume, and I'm like, I bought those on the 6th anniversary. And all of a sudden I turn around, and I remember everything laying in the front yard, and there she is. You know, it's like, that was the longest 7 weeks of my life. That is a long-term relationship. My wife knows that was a long time ago. But like any good, songwriter, first thing I done at that point in time was I went home, got a Milwaukee's Best Light, a crayon, and a piece of toilet paper, and wrote this song called No Harm, No Foul. So, and it goes something like this. Imagine running into you here tonight, and I was just gonna grab me smokes. Yeah, you don't look alright. Yeah, you look like you seen a ghost. Lightning come to a stop. Just a timeout, that's all we got. We knew then what we know now. No harm means no foul. No harm means no foul, it's in the past. Don't waste time to look back. No harm means no foul, it's alright. Let's part ways and call it a night. Now is that your husband waiting? Yeah, he knows who I am. Gotta look the other way. That poor dog, he looks so sad. Glad to see you wearing it well. And all the time and no one could tell. You hid the hurt and drowned the pain. I buried the memories and tried to change. No harm means no foul, it's in the past. Don't waste time to look back. No harm means no foul, it's alright. Let's part ways and call it a night. No harm means no foul, it's in the past. Don't waste time to look back. No harm means no foul, it's alright. Let's part ways and call it a night. Imagine running into you here tonight, and I was just gonna grab me smokes. Yeah, you know it's alright. Yeah, you look like you seen a ghost. Joe, how are you, sir? Very good to see you, to hear from you. Joe's a great guy, just wonderful human being. Him and his wife Lori are great people, and he's always tearing apart a Harley.
Oh, yeah.
All the time, yeah. Great person. He actually gave me the frame for my panhead that I built at one time. So that was pretty cool. Forever in debt to Joe. Great guy. I am going to do this song here.
Hey, I had a question, though.
Yeah.
What, do you remember what color crayon that was?
Actually, yes. It was purple.
Purple.
It was a purple crayon. I literally sat down. I had a old guitar at that point in time, and I had my Gibson in pawn, and I had a Galveston Jumbo, and the knob didn't work. So anytime I go to a jam night or anything, I plug in. It sounded like the mothership was dropping down on the bar. And I sat down, I wrote that song in a matter of minutes, and it just kind of...
It's cool when those come to you like that.
Yeah.
You just got to listen hard enough.
Yeah, and it's like, I was told by somebody one time, every opportunity is just another chance at a song. I thought, man, that's pretty deep.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep. So, very cool stuff.
I like that.
Thank you. Now, let me see if this is... This next song is a song I wrote a while back, and I kind of rewrote it, and ended up on my new album, Words and Highways, which is available on all the streams. Actually, our dear friend, Mark Lee Shannon, played on this. And
Mark.
yeah, and he came in to lay the guitar track down. He brought a pedal board and he brought his old Telecaster, and I was really bummed because I wanted to see the gold top. I love that gold top that he has. That is a bad guitar. But I think the hardest part of the album was my producer, Mike Villegas, over at Area 67 Recording. When we were doing the finishing touches on it and all that, hardest part was to figure out which guitar parts we weren't going to keep of Mark's. I mean, it was like, I love that one. I love that one too. Well, I think we could have took a whole session on just taking out Mark's one part, and it was so hard to do.
He's a pro.
He is just amazing. Amazing.
I love him. Folks, if you haven't heard of Mark Lee Shannon, do yourself a favor and look him up. He's a good dude.
Very good dude. Just straight across the board, too. Just positive, great guy. So this song is called Let Sleeping Dogs Lie, and it goes like this. Lost and all and moved alone, bad attitude and one more song. Can't worry about it or where it went. Forget about that and where it went. And I'm numb to the pain. Nothing left inside. Don't yank my chain. Let them sleeping dogs lie. Let sleeping dogs lie. Don't waste my time. Get out of my way or pass me by. Let them sleeping dogs lie. Don't want to hear how I done you wrong. Stuck around too damn long. Made mistake believing your words. Them actions cut like swords. And I'm numb to the pain. Nothing left inside. Don't yank my chain. Let them sleeping dogs lie. Let sleeping dogs lie. Don't waste my time. Get out of my way or pass me by. Let them sleeping dogs lie. Stroke of luck, I broke free. Past all the calamity. And now I'm sitting on this porch. I can't ask for anything more. Let sleeping dogs lie. Don't waste my time. Get out of my way or pass me by. Let them sleeping dogs lie.
All right.
So this next song is called Stiff Upper Lip, and I have some friends that kind of roll around, and they basically just drift, and I see them like once every couple years. They'll get a job, and then they'll get a burr in their saddle and decide, hey, I'm just going to go down to Houston and see what's in Houston, or I'm going to jump over to Illinois and see what's going on in Chicago. And these guys ride around, and they make just enough to get them wherever they need to go. And it's like, wow, that's their gig. So when I hear these stories from them, I'm always like, I'll look at them and go, I'm going to write a song about that. And my one buddy, Sammy, he's like, Hensley, I know you are. He goes, whatever I tell you, you got it. You go ahead, you write a song. So this one here is called Stiff Upper Lip. And it was about his adventures. And he is originally from Colorado. And he kept wanting to go back there. And it seems like every time he went back, he got in trouble. So he ended up, last time I'd heard from him, this is a little over a year and a half ago, he was somewhere down in Texas. And again, he said he was going back to Colorado, Boulder City. And he had like this laugh when I talked to him on the phone. And it's like, you sure you want to do that? He goes, oh, yeah. I got to keep law enforcement in business down there. I'm like, dude, he's a crazy happy guy, but trouble finds him. He's one of those guys. So, but this song's called Stiff Upper Lip, and it's about some of his escapades and the one time he came very close to settling down. So. I was sitting in a diner, looking out at the road, trying to find direction on which way to go. Rode through the Carolinas, fell in love in Tennessee, and she was too scared to hit the road with me. And in the dawn's early morning, with last night on my breath, saddled up my pony with little regret. I'm just a gypsy on the road, no direction and nowhere to go, running wild, I'm running free. Won't you ride with me? There's a place in Colorado, down an old dirt road, holding some memories that are calling me home. You know life's just a journey, sometimes a bad trip, but you gotta keep on riding, keep a stiff upper lip. I'm just a gypsy on the road, no direction and nowhere to go, running wild, I'm running free. Won't you ride with me? And I'm just a gypsy on the road, no direction direction and nowhere to go. Running wild, I'm running free. Won't you run with me?
Oh man, I like that one a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a very heartfelt song. I was very fortunate, you know, to know the people I know in my life, and they've all contributed somewhere along the way to my growth, and at worst, they become some part of a song. So it's kind of cool.
So that's not too bad.
No.
Now you had talked a little bit about growing, and I'd love to talk about that a little bit.
Awesome.
Because I know that on October 6th you celebrated your 10th year
10 year.
of sobriety.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing. So, little congratulations for that.
Thank you.
I think that path has taken you a lot of places.
Yes, it's to get there was quite a ride. I will say that growing up, I don't think I ever went to school and thought, well, I want to be an alcoholic and, you know, live under a bridge. And I literally did at one time live under a bridge and stayed at the Haven Arrest. 2009, 2010, I was homeless. There was nobody who would put up with my couch surfing and my drinking. I couldn't go 4 hours without drinking. I'd get sick. I had, back in 2003 and 2007, my alcoholism was so bad. I was what they called a functioning alcoholic. I still held a job. I worked at Harley, and I had worked at Harley or a Harley aftermarket shop up till 2018 from the 90s, and played music. And man, I'd get sick if I didn't have alcohol. And I had 2 esophageal scopes done, and the one time they're like, you're probably never going to sing again, in 2007, because they were afraid my larynx or the little flipper flapper in the back of your throat was going to go up and shut off my air if I got sick.
Oh wow.
So and that didn't stop me from drinking, you know. That was just okay, whatever, you know. And finally I plummeted to the point where in 2009 nobody wanted me around. I had to have alcohol every 4 hours, and I went from Top Shelf back in the day to Steel Reserve, which if you haven't drank Steel Reserve,
maybe keep it that way.
Yeah. There's nothing good about Steel Reserve. But I ended up homeless, ended up in a actual homeless camp. They call it Tent City. And I was that guy on the side of the road at 40 years old, holding a sign saying, "Any help, anything would help, God bless." And actually, at one point in time, what got me into my last rehab in 2010, which I marked my actual sobriety date, October 6th, because that's the day I went into Salvation Army, and that was my last rehab. I had done 2 previous to that. One court-ordered for a DUI that was actually my 3rd DUI, but they were over a span of years. But I really hit a grand slam with that one. It was like 3.2 at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. 3.2. Yeah, it was bad. And the girlfriend of mine was passed out in the bushes at her house, and I was waiting on her to get up and feed her dogs, and the cops pulled up, and they're like, "What's going on here?" I had an open container, you know, and that I ended up seizuring, withdrawing in a holding cell at Summit County Jail in 2007, and got back out and just started ripping and roaring until 9, and then 2009 I was out flying a sign. Somebody gave me $100. A little old lady in a little Celica pulled up, gave me a 20, and I didn't know what else was in there, and I put it in my pocket, and I had been jumped a couple times leaving the ramp, walking back to the camp, and so I knew to put it in my pocket. Never look at the money when you're on the ramp, counting, flying, and that night I bought a bunch of beer, and I got out to walk back towards the camp, and I had drank 3 or 4 of those tall steel reserves, and I had taken some beer back to the camp for the guys. There's 5 of us, had our 5 tents set up, and we thought we had a great way of living there. I called it extreme vacationing.
Yeah.
But I end up passing out, and there's a train coming, and guys yelling at me, "Hey, buddy, are you okay down there? Move." Here it was a pastor from Salvation Army, and he was out trying to, talk to people about God and all that. And he was also sent out to find me because I had been at Salvation Army in 2008, 2007 briefly, and nothing I'd done stuck. So he pulled me off the tracks, and we started talking. Finally, 2009 was getting rough. I grunted through. 2010, just finally 280 pounds. I looked like a banana. If you took a banana and put Rob Zombie's face on him, that was me. That's how yellow I was. I was 280 pounds. And one morning I went to the BP, and I got my beer, and I drank a 40. Nothing. Couldn't get a buzz going. So then I drank another 24-ouncer, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's time I go try this rehab thing one more time, and if I don't get it, I'll come back out here and die. And that was the extent of it. And from there, it kind of like got into the rehab, and they got me into some actual housing afterwards, Springtime of Hope, which I still go and try to help them when I can. Great people there. And, it was kind of odd because I went back to tell Ernie Passios at Liberty that I was sorry about quitting on him so many times, getting drunk and leaving. And he was like, I need somebody to work on the parts counter again. You're a good parts guy when you're sober. He gave me my job back. And I was like, and I stayed there till they sold to Rubber City, and then stayed there till 18. And one day I'm like, okay, I've got enough sobriety under my belt. I'm going to follow my dream here, go make some music, and, do my thing. So it's been a ride.
Yeah, I guess so. But hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. And so these days I try to be that little bit of inspiration and that little bit of help. I might be the only little bit of positive change somebody sees. So it's not the smoke and mirrors type stuff. It's just legit. Here I am. This is where I'm at. Here's where I came from. Can I help you get better than you are now?
Yeah, that's huge. Well, I appreciate that sentiment.
Thank you.
1,000%. So
Thank
incredible.
you.
Proud of you, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So this next song is about being kind of stuck in an addiction or in a dark place, and you become so complacent and comfortable being in that you don't want change. You're afraid to change. You're afraid of what's on the other side. And I was at that point, and I went through that. So I knew that if I accepted being in that tent, I was just going to be in that tent till I died. Or I could give rehab a try and try to get sober and see what's on the other side. And that first year was scary as hell because I had never been sober for 30 years. So the first year was kind of rough. But the beauty of it all is that once I got over that little bit of fear, I'm able to tell other people it's out there. There's good stuff out there. And it's not just alcohol. It's just any kind of fear. You can either go around the storm or ride through it and learn your lesson and help somebody else through their storm. So this song is pretty much about that. And I see a lot of people that I grew up with that they're going through what I went through, and they really just, they want to sit there and it's Groundhog Day, day in and day out. This song's called Comfortable. I've talked way too long, so I better play a song. And it goes like this. Time slips away as we move on, changing plans and a changing song. Time is time as we trudge along. This old town has same street lights. Every night's the same and they all end in white. The same I can change, but I never try. Comfortable in the same, I'm comfortable in the now. Thou convenience, not out of how. We stay here and we don't move ahead. A comfort in the life that I led. I got more reason to leave than to stay. Scared to build momentum and run away. Becomes so easy when it's all the same. I'm gonna write these poems, sit here all alone. This house is made and heart finds home. Feel at ease with a chill in my bones. Comfortable in the same, I'm comfortable in the now. Without convenience and not out of how. We stay here and we don't move ahead. A comfort in the life that I led. I believe in something more, waiting for me on a distant shore. Past these fears and all these doubts that bind me to the here and now. Comfortable in the same, I'm comfortable in the now. Our convenience and not out of how. We stay here and we don't move ahead. Comfortable in the life that I led. Comfortable in the same, I'm comfortable in the now. Without convenience and not out of how. We stay here and we don't move ahead. We're comfortable in the life that I led.
All right.
This next song is a song called Road Scholar. And I was watching a movie, and just out of curiosity, I had to check, and I checked YouTube, and there's a movie called John Doe's Roadside Prophets. Anybody that knows me knows I love older bikes, and I love panheads, and I love Triumphs. That's me. That's my gig, you know. I ride a somewhat older bike. I ride a 95 Dyna Glide now. my buddy Kevin Figueroa's watching. Yes, Dinah Life. Okay, Kevin. No T-bars, though. Ape hangers. But I have a friend that he's one of those guys that I was talking about. He kind of drifts, and he's a trip, man. And he was telling me how he was drinking. He called it moon juice. I'm like, you mean moonshine? And he talks odd because he's missing a few teeth. And he kept saying, no, it's moon juice. And he's telling me how he saw the devil when he was drinking moon juice down in Florida. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, right. So I had to throw it into this song. But I originally wrote this song out of watching the movie John Doe's Roadside Prophets. It's an odd movie. If anyone gets a chance to watch it, there's so many cool cameos. John Cusack's in it, Timothy Leary, Arlo Guthrie. It is just off the hook. And it's
what was it called again?
It's called John Doe's Roadside Prophets. And you can find it on YouTube. And Arlo Guthrie in his form is so funny because he does this one thing. David Carradine's in there playing guitar and singing a song too. And then Arlo does this thing where he goes, well, you know, them mammals, they grew hands and they grew feet. And then
holy crap, you sound just...
I can
sound
do
just
imitations.
like him.
Yeah, I used to, at one time I do Freebird, and I do it like talking it out like Arlo would. If I stayed here till tomorrow, do you think?
You sound just like him.
All right. So the song originally started out from John Doe's Roadside Prophets, and then my buddy and his I know it was moonshine. I don't know what he's talking about, but I threw that in there, and it's kind of about a guy just drifting around on his bike, and there's some little excerpts of part of my life in here too. So the song's called Road Scholar, and it goes like this. Chicago's tougher than Cleveland. Lord, I ain't got no home. Hung around Cave Creek. Grab a guitar and hit the road. Here I am from town to town. These rags with this guitar. Playing for pennies, and every honky-tonkin' bar. And I'm no road scholar, and I'm a drifter by choice, heading down with asphalt angels. These songs are my voice. Broke a woman's heart in Montgomery. Talked to God in Baton Rouge. Drifted down through Melbourne, looking for the truth. A man devil in a pawn shop down in Gator Country. Nearly died in that muddy water swamp, laying drunk against a tree. And I'm no road scholar, I'm a drifter by choice, bedding down with asphalt angels. These songs are my voice. Don't look at me for salvation, and I got my own cross to bear, and I'm as empty a winter's moon even though I've been everywhere. And I'm no Rhodes Scholar, and I'm a drifter by choice, bedding down with asphalt angels. These songs are my voice. Chicago was tougher than Cleveland. Lord, I ain't got no home. I hung around Cave Creek, grabbed my guitar and hit the road.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do this next one here. I had just wrote this next one, and I'm hoping to get back into Area 67 and record this. It's kind of got, I want to say, when it's all said and done, it's going to have a 50s type vibe to it.
Oh, cool.
And a little bit of background oohs and ahs, nothing real flamboyant. I don't think Bowser from Shauna Na is still alive.
Well, we can ask. We'll ask
Yeah.
around.
Okay, and so this song, Davey Squires is going to play some keyboard on it, so I'm really excited about that. I met up with Davey, and I played on my birthday with him at Kerouac's Cafe in Columbus back in 17 or 18, and we just kind of have been friends since then. And just a real good guy, real positive guy. He's, for some odd reason, he's always wearing velvet, so everybody just calls him Mr. Velvet. And we were texting back and forth one day, and there's a movie, I think it's The Outsiders, where they say, stay golden pony boy or something. So I'm like, stay velvet there, dude man, or something. So it's like, that's his big thing. But this song here, it's one of those ones, it's kind of got a nice little backbeat that it's going to have going on once I get this in the studio. I hope everyone that's watching is enjoying it. I want to thank you real quick, Ben. This is, as I said, one of the highlights, man. It's just amazing that, 2020 has been a rough year for everyone.
Sure.
And we're pretty fortunate to still be making music and doing what we do. And it's people like you that do this that give us an outlet, and it gives us a lot of inspiration. I know this guitar usually sits in the case, and I'll use my Epiphone. I never play my Gibson J200 because I don't feel worthy enough, but I'm just one of those type guys. And it's like, it's just such a blessing to have you and Mark Lee and some of those guys around here that really take it to the local level and take it up a notch. You're a class act, man. Thank you.
I appreciate that, brother. And to that point, I mean, so I'm gonna hop on here because I don't take the compliments well, but I want to turn it around to you and the other songwriters that we have in this area. You all are stepping up in such an amazing way, and sharing your stuff, your tunes, your stories in every chance, and all these new ways. It's 2020 is a crazy year, but it's amazing to see all these people that that maybe you don't know well, and then this sort of thing, believe it or not, is bringing us together.
Yeah.
And now we're pals, and then everyone that's watching, and that watches, has popped in or out, for any of the folks that we have. I mean, it's cool. We're creating this little community. It's really special. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate each one of you that are out there watching, sharing this news, or sharing the streams, and connecting with our local musicians. I think we have just some of the absolute best local musicians, and they love what they do so much. I mean, Clyde is a perfect example. We love it. and to have the fan base and the community of music lovers right behind us too is huge. So yeah, right back at you, brother. Thank you. It's huge. Just let people know that you're proud of them, that you love them, and that whatever they're doing is cool. So let's keep doing it.
All right, this song is called My Broken Heart, and it goes like this. Seen you out walking just the other day. I didn't know where you were going, but it wasn't my way. Not too long ago, I gave you my heart. It took no time you to rip it apart. But I better stand back, enjoy the ride, patch up my broken heart and say goodbye. I must be crazy, no questions asked. My broken heart still wants you back. Watched you laughing, looking so fine. I was reminiscing to when you were mine. Not too long ago, gave you my heart. It took no time you to rip it apart. I better stand back, enjoy the ride, patch up my broken heart and say goodbye. And I must be crazy, no questions asked. My broken heart still wants you back. Not too long ago, I gave you my heart. It took no time for you to tear it apart. I better stand back, let it ride, patch up my broken heart and say goodbye. And I must be crazy, no questions asked. My broken heart still wants you back. But I better stand back, let it ride, patch up my broken heart and say goodbye. But I must be crazy, no questions asked. My broken heart still wants you back.
All right, brother. Hey, so a couple other things. So I know that you had mentioned that you're kind of getting your certification for as a recovery coach, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am CCAR certified.
What's that
Now, that is, I went through the 40-hour classes. I am on my, I just done my last of the video training. Now I just have to sign up for my Ohio test, and then I will be Ohio Peer certified.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's one of those things where I'll be able to share my strength, my experience, my hope, and hopefully, right now recovery is a hard thing, especially with this pandemic. I am chairing. I have a home group. Is it cool to say? say that?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a home group, and it's Goodyear meeting, and I was like trying to find people to lead for me, and out of 10 people I've called or text, they've all had years of sobriety. They've all relapsed except for 2.
Damn.
I'm like, wow, the odds are something astronomically low. So it's like, I remember when I was told one time by a counselor, one of my first, my court-appointed rehab, they were like, 1 out of every 20 or something will make it, or 1 out of every 12, and I'm like, wow. Well, that's not good. Now the actual numbers haven't fluctuated too much. It's one of those things, and there's so many other things out there now. We have heroin, we've got all this other stuff going on, but to me, and I know some people don't agree with me, addiction's an addiction. You got to look at the human being before anything, not what they're addicted to. You've got to figure out why they're doing what they're doing and why they have that addiction. Show them some love and kindness. Whole acceptance, tolerance, and patience thing, it's a rough ride, but I have days where I struggle, and it's one of those things where if I can help somebody through the path I walked and sometimes stumbled, I'm doing my part, I'm doing my part, so.
Well, it's killer, man. I appreciate what you're doing for the community and for sharing your stories and songs on this show. And I appreciate all you fine folks too. And if there's anything that you need, even if it's just somebody to talk to, because I know things are kind of going up and down, and yeah, all of this isolation, it's really hard on people.
Yeah.
So please reach out, and then soon you're gonna have another amazing recovery coach out there on the streets, Mr. Clyde Alan Hensley.
Yep.
So keep your eyes peeled for that. But I think this is the last tune. So before he starts, I just want to say thank you so much. That we love you. Continue to do good, stay healthy, stay happy, spread the noise, and please don't hesitate to reach out if there's anything that we can do for you.
Yeah. And just to kind of tag on to that, I've got a Facebook fan site. I've got my personal page. If somebody needs something, don't be afraid to message me. I will get back to you right away. Always here. Gotta be. Somebody helped me when I was pretty much unhelpable, and now it's my turn to pay it back and be a decent person, show love, patience, and tolerance. This next song is actually Garrett Hart's playing it on Rock and Recovery, and it's a song kind of about unconditional love, and it has to do with relapsing, and it has to do with how when we relapse, we have people there, they'll love us, and they will always want to, open arms and bring you back and go, hey, okay, you screwed up. Let's find out why you screwed up there, and let's get you back on the right track. It's all between a bad moment and a bad day, and that's all between your ears and your heart and talking to people, Let people know how you're feeling. You're only as sick as your darkest secrets. So, it's one of those things. But this next song is called The Last Straw, and they're playing it on Rock and Recovery now, and on, I believe, their Stream 2.
Yeah, that 330.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
So congratulations, man. That's fantastic.
Thank you. These are all things I wouldn't do if I was sitting on a bar stool. I'd be running up a hell of a tab, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be, making music or helping anybody. I'd be a problem for somebody, and you know. So this song's called The Last Straw. Again, I want to thank you, Ben, and thank you everybody who watched. I have Facebook on, you know, on my page and all that, so if anybody ever needs anything, reach out, don't hesitate. I'll be back to you as quick as I can. Song goes like this. Walked away, bad things in store, fighting a battle to lose the war. Across the river, you went to turn back. I was there to stop the attack. And I love you when you left, and I watched with no contempt. Shook my head and I took you back. I was there when the last straw snapped, oh, oh. When the last straw snapped. Falling in darkness, a wicked night, there's the sunrise and the sunlight. Knowing nothing, you went astray. And I was there and I didn't turn away. But I love you when you left. I watched with no contempt. Shook my head and I took you back. I was there when the last straw snapped, oh, oh. When the last straw snapped. I love you when you left. I watched with no contempt. Shook my head and I took you back. I was there when the last straw snapped, oh, whoa. When the last straw snapped. And I love you when you left. And I watched with no contempt. Shook my head and I took you back. I was there when the last straw snapped, oh, whoa. When the last straw snapped.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you, Clyde.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks. Have a good evening.